that down. We're running behind schedule here today,
guys.
Let's move on to this, shall we? It is Paul Walter Hauser's world, and we just live in it.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has been announced in the past just couple of weeks in like no less than 6 projects, some of them major. And it's kind of his world. He's got a higher profile now, even than when he won his Emmy. Even when he won his Emmy, it didn't get like all the attention he deserved, but kind of now the world's on him. Well, and I love this guy. I really do. He just did something interesting, which I'm going to admit right now has left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Kind of unprovoked, he decided to take shots at Vin Diesel. And what are we talking about? Well, let's read this in Variety. Variety wrote this. Paul Walter Hauser's interview with Cinema Blend at the Inside Out 2 press junket, because he is the voice, one line, but he is the voice of embarrassment. Press junket is gaining traction on social media for one viral moment in which the Emmy-winning actor calls out Vin Diesel for stories about Diesel's allegedly mistreating cast and crew on set. The two actors have not worked together, and it appears that Hauser is not interested due to what he's heard about Diesel. When Cinema Blend interviewer told Hauser that his arc in Inside Out 2 means you're like Vin Diesel now, the actor responded with, "Please don't say that. I like to think that I am on time and approachable," Hauser said, alluding to stories that he's heard that Diesel is not. "I love people, but when I hear stories about Hollywood actors who get paid really well and mistreat people, I out them constantly, and it's a blast." All right. I don't like to do TMZ stuff. Like, oh, I don't care which celebrities don't like other ones. I don't care which celebrities are dating which celebrity. I don't care about this stuff normally. But this involves something that's kind of is an issue to me that I see in Hollywood. And I bring it up now and again. And I will include this with actors that I really like Paul Walter Hauser. But I think it is the most basic thing that you're a boy, not a man. When, especially unprovoked, when, first of all, Paul Walter Hauser's never worked with Vin Diesel. He has no firsthand experience of this. He's just heard some stories. To come out and take shots at somebody publicly, for somebody you have no idea if anything that is true or not, is like, I'm sorry, that's the sign you're a boy, you're not a man. That's not the way a man acts. All right? That's not the way a man acts. My dad used to teach me, and I don't know if he's 100% right, but my dad always used to drive into us. Never talk about somebody in a negative way if they're not in the room with you. Because that means you're not a man. Never talk negatively about somebody else if they're not in the room with you. If they're there face to face and they get to defend themselves, go for it if you want. But I mean, this is particularly confused because the other thing my dad always used to say, and you've heard me mention this before. The other thing my dad used to say is, the only thing that is guaranteed to happen when you get in a shit slinging contest is everyone ends up smelling like shit. That's why I don't get involved in shit slinging contests. Because the only guaranteed outcome of a shit slinging contest is that you will all end up smelling like shit. It is particularly confusing to me because he's saying this about a guy he's never met. Like, I'm going to out this guy. You've never met that guy. For all you know, I mean, maybe the stories are true. Maybe they're not true. You don't know. What's the point of sitting here and taking a shot at somebody, number one, who's not here to defend themselves, and you have absolutely no idea if this is true firsthand or not?
Yeah, it gets when I was reading, I was like, oh yeah. Oh, that's really that you've heard.
Yeah, but
like
what
you
if the
weren't
people-
on set and saw this, and then you're like, I'm outing this douchebag. He did this to this person.
Yeah, and it's also not like the interviewer sat down and said, "Hey, Paul Walter Hauser, what do you think about Vin Diesel?"
Yeah.
Like it was
He could just be like, "Oh, don't compare me to him, please," and then move on.
Yeah. I would have had no problem with that.
Yeah.
I mean, what if the people are really close? He has close relationships with these people, and he's heard it from enough people. I mean,
Then let them say it publicly. It's not your place.
I know, but if someone says, "Hey, you're the thing," and you really not sure about this person at the moment, maybe he just snapped. Maybe it was just a moment of like,
people in the
he
public
said too
eye like
much.
this need
I'm
to
just
know
saying,
better.
if people are a bunch of people, Jonathan, you came up to me and said, "Hey man,
I still
I
wouldn't say
really didn't
anything.
like working with this person, this and that," and someone talks to me and says, "Hey, you're like this guy," then I'll be a little bit like, not from not
but I wouldn't be like, I put them on blast and have fun with it.
Okay, look, but here's the thing. Listen,
Hollywood.
look at
Hollywood
Tom
is just
Hardy and
Hollywood.
Charlize Theron.
Right.
We know from the director and from reports, those two did not get along. And that's putting it mildly. We know for a fact that Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy did not get along on the set of Mad Max Fury Road. Has Tom Hardy ever come out and spoken shit about Charlize Theron?
Yeah.
Has Charlize Theron ever come out and spoken shit about Tom Hardy? No. You know why? Because they're fucking grown-ups. They're grown-ups. You know not to do that. That's what children do. Children do this. And I'm a big fan of Paul Walter Hauser, so I expect more from him.
I imagine that maybe not his publicist is probably like, hey, let's tone that down going forward.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure their publicist did.
Because all that does is stir up drama. He's too good for that. He doesn't need to be doing that.
He is too good. That's what upsets me, because I have a lot of respect for Paul Walter Hauser. He's too good for this.
He's got that Kai in him.
And I don't want to see him become this.
He's got that Cobra Kai in him.
Despite whether it's true or false or whatever, if something like this does bring some sort of positive change, let's say whether things are true or not, if there is a change that occurs, because some people don't speak out, and that's the problem. When people are getting mistreated, some people don't speak out.
It's one
they
thing
need to have somebody that brings out, especially if it's going on.
If you witness
if it's going on, and
you're getting so heated.
No, I'm just saying. I'm seeing the other side.
There is no other side.
There is other side if
Vin
it is
Diesel
going on.
directly mistreated him, and you want to talk about it,
that's what we're saying. Go for it.
This gutless, cowardly. Everybody, listen to me. I'm going to stand up on this. I'm going to stand up on this soapbox.
Yeah, but none of us have met anybody.
I've met Vin Diesel.
I mean, I'm just saying. But it's like, if these things are happening, and someone wants to call it out, then
let them call it out.
Right.
Who's going to call it out though?
The people who witnessed it.
The ones who allegedly it happened to.
People are obviously afraid to call it out if they're just telling people.
I'm just saying, it's not your place. Like, if you don't know firsthand, because what you've just done is
to bring up
you've got this big platform, and you're going to use this platform for something that you yourself never saw.
Yeah.
And you're going to publicly embarrass and humiliate another human being that may have done nothing wrong. But it's just beneath them. I hate the way people have used social media to become cowards, and it's just not your place. Because when does it stop? When does it stop that now anybody can just? By the way, now that I'm on Twitter here, I'm being interviewed. I want to talk about this other guy I don't like, and it just becomes a fucking preschool playground.
I'm just saying, if this is something that really got on people's whatever, the people who worked with Vin Diesel will come out and defend him. You know what I'm saying? We should expect that, in the next couple of days, if this thing goes up.
But they shouldn't have to do that.
I worked with Vin Diesel. This is not true.
But they shouldn't have to do that.
Just like him speaking up for the people that he's talked to, people who know Vin Diesel should speak up for him.
We need to move on from this.
This is all Hollywood. I don't care about it, so it doesn't matter.
and you know what? Your actors, when you're talking in the forum of acting and promoting projects, don't use it as a platform to take shots at other people unprovoked. Anyway, and I say this as somebody who's a big fan of Paul Walter Hauser. I just expect better from him. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40% mistreatment. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Anyway, guys, question is for you. How do you feel about this? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.